And those ores are predefined?
Those ores are currently predefined, yeah. I thought there was a way to do this through the API, that you could add things to it, but apparently not.
I remember someone requesting that.
Yeah, I thought it was entirely possible already, but maybe it's not. Alright, so let's change that up and fix that later. For now, curious, when we collide with things, there's a vector from pool, we ray trace the blocks based on where we're going to be. So, it's one of the things for this collision. We should actually incorporate our motion.
What's been up with TeamSpeak the past couple of days?
Not sure what you mean.
People's it drops like the connection and stuff sometimes.
FTB occasionally has problems, just the server does.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's do that without the +1. Sorry, I forgot to make the game visible again. Yeah.
My dog is currently sleeping with his food bowl over his over his face. He's making funny noises.
Alright. That was real quick. I'm gonna remove the one expansion, so I'm gonna do this. I really want to be able to just kind of drill away at the obsidian. Like that.
According to the stream, you just spawned a meteor, which means that I'm looking at your console and not the window.
Yes. Okay, so the first time around it did this, and the second time around it dug another hole. So I'll demonstrate it again. Right, so we're digging holes in the obsidian, and that's good.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
every time I see you start rebuilding the platform, I think, why aren't you just building as a plane? And then I realize this is Minecraft, not Space Engineers.
Yep.
Maybe you should include open mods in there just to have the nice creative one.
Well, if you're developing, just best to keep it only to the mod you're developing, just so you don't introduce anything odd.
Yeah. I do throw in other mods for other things, but... Alright, so...
I don't develop without NEI.
Yeah, I keep NEI in here, largely so that I can have access to things.
True, but at the same time, I don't... The interactions from NEI are so unlikely.
Well, at the very least, they need to be tested. Let's see what that does.
Alright, so penetration on obsidian.
The hole, and then minor explosion through because there was a hole. And then we'll do this. And I'll make a second layer. Just building layers of obsidian here. Three meteors coming from the sky at the same time. Okay. There's our hole. And we didn't even break through. That's good. So, every time it hits, it's going to put a dent in it. If you have a layer of 2 and then patch it up occasionally, you should be fine.
That's easier said than done.
Yes. But at the very least, you can do something about them now.
Fair enough. Chad is asking if it would be possible to add a siren to the meteor so it can be heard.
Oh,
I wouldn't really say a siren.
well,
More
a
like
wailing noise as they fall.
Yeah. Or like the sound of fire, because usually meteors would pick up a little bit of flames or something. You know, like Smallville. With Clark's ship in it.
If I recall, it probably wouldn't work based on the way Minecraft handles sounds and distance.
Yeah.
You could do fake... I'm actually having to do that in a project that I'm working on in Unity. You could create fake sounds around the player, but they'd have to be client-side,
Yeah.
because otherwise multiple players would make multiple meteor sounds. Oh! That is true. Isn't there a thunder sound?
There is. We should go check how that works. And, yeah, this worked pretty well. We've got lots of ore stacked on each other. Little hole in the ground. It drills through bedrock, which is what it did before. For the same reason it did before.
Alright.
Does anyone remember when it used to be called adminium?
Adminium? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
I think it was always supposed to be bedrock. That was just before Minecraft had actual names in-game.
Yeah. To be able to refine bedrock into liquid adamantium and then apply it to your skeleton.
Alright,
And run around with
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Yeah, and run around with Wolverine claws. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but you'd need to drink a healing potion before you did it. Or a potion of regeneration before you did it.
Okay. So that works pretty well.
I saw a funny interview where Hugh Jackman said that on the first day of shooting X-Men 2, where he had to run down a corridor with no clothes on, there was when he got around the corner, the entire cast of female women were standing there with $5 notes going, woo!
Chat has brought up, let's see. As for the sounds, you could do something like a minecart has, and then make the sound hearable everywhere like ghasts. So apparently there are some systems for
Yes.
global
Alright, so let's see how those things work. First, I'm going to commit this stuff for the changes to meteors. So here's this. What all did we change?
Then you run into one problem. If meteors fall and no one's around, does it make a sound?
No.
On that note, I'm leaving you for my own live stream.
Okay. Bye.
See you,
Have
movie.
fun.
Have fun with your life.
Bye-bye.
And Shadow, go back in your box.
I'm waiting for Space Engineers update.
Can you spam the meteor command and see the carnage?
I could. Let's see. Adjust. Right. So makes meteor size adjust double. There we go. Apparently can't keep track of how to spell words right now. That's parse float command or function to command base. Adds scale and block penetration variables to be your constructor and command.
So this is when you tie it in with the storm event to have more frequent meteors as well. And then instead of lightning strikes, you'd have meteor strikes, and then you tie it in with the eternal storm to get Armageddon.
I could actually, at this point, yes, make very tiny meteors that fall and do things.
Well, a meteorite storm, basically.
But if it's Armageddon, don't you have to send up a ship to plant a bomb in the center of the asteroid?
No, you have to play Def Leppard.
Anything but Aerosmith at that point.
You know, Bruce Willis, send him up.
Block removal rate radius on meteor adjusted for motion. Okay. In the end, we made no changes to explosion radius, or explosion advanced. Alright. So let's check out sounds for the thunder and the blazes. Particularly thunder, I think, is more appropriate in this context. So... I have my own entity lightning bolt, I think. No, this is the Minecraft one. Oh, I'm in the forge source. I don't really want to be there. Apparently that's what I'm going to get. Alright, so... let's see if we can find anything about sound. Play sound effect. Okay. Okay. Basically the implementation of this function. Send to all near. So the thunder effect is actually based on the lightning entity.
Did they at least delay it?
Delay it? That didn't make
Yeah,
sense.
did they delay the sound?
Nah. No.
Ah. Unless there's some delay built into the sound file, maybe.
Let's just... Let's see. Get living sound, play living sound.
Diamond Creeper wants to know, XCOM, are you like coding on a computercraft computer in real life?
It's a oddly phrased thing. I'm not sure I could parse it. Code. Yeah.
Is what you're doing
I have coded
basically...
on computercraft computers before, but this is more complicated than coding on computercraft computers. Aside from the fact that I have a really nice editor.
I was about to say, I find it much easier.
This is more
IntelliSense
complicated
amazing.
but easier.
I prefer to code Minecraft on the Commodore 64.
Alright, so... Interesting. It does seem like the ghast sound comes from everywhere. But as far as I can tell, it's no different from standard entity sound playing.
A special event on the ghast alone, maybe?
Sorry?
Special event on the ghast entity existing? Tick, maybe? I have no idea.
Well, there's nothing else in here for sound.
Interesting.
There's a play aux effects, but that's only called when they're attacking. And for the most part, they just get living sound. It's the moan here.
Yeah.
The only thing that calls this is play living sound from entity living, which then plays the sound. Then plays the sound at the entity. Hum. Strange. Play sound at entity. It may just be that their idle sounds are really loud. That's a possibility.
Could be it.
Hmm. Lightning bolt thunder. You use play sound effect, which this is a really big number here. XYZ name large number. XYZ name large number. And then that might be frequency, the modulation on the sound. Okay. This is our large number. Okay, so that's range at that point. If it's larger than 1, it becomes range. So that's how you do that. We're going to send the sound to everybody in the area. I'm going to send it like thunder here. So.
Alright.
That's on the on update. Just up here. And they actually do it.
Chat saying their idle sounds are just really loud. Their attacking sounds used to not fade based on distance. It was changed in 1.7. Look at position sound record for how sounds work now.
Okay. Let's see what positioned sound record does.
In TeamSpeak, not.
Yeah,
Which-
TeamSpeak's doing its derpy sound loss or packet loss thing.
Yeah.
Ah.
Let's see here. Yep. Okay. So the main thing I need to do here. Do I have an age variable? No. I thought entities used to have an age variable, but it may just be item entities. Yeah. Well, what all do I need? I really want to play the thunder sound when this thing first spawns.
Alright.
And its first update tick. Otherwise, don't bother with that sound. And then otherwise we're going to play the wailing sound. And that's going to have to be kind of interesting. I'm not sure how to pull that off.
If random bool, play first tick sound, and then set the bool to false
Yeah.
at the end of the update.
If not updated. Oops. It's kind of an odd thing, but that's okay.
There might also be some sort of entity spawn method, something like that.
I don't think that there's a convenient one.
All right.
Not on, not on first update kind of thing.
Chat said the wailing sound might be excessive. Perhaps minecarts pitched up might be better.
No, I'm fine with that.
Is there a easy to use library available just to do pitch changes and such?
It's built into the sound playing.
Oh, okay. Good, good, good.
If I knew where sounds for minecarts were handled.
You could just look them up in the assets folder. If your only goal is to find the name.
That's a good idea. Let's see here. There are no sounds in... Well, there are sounds that play continuously in Minecraft Rain. So... How to look at that? Where are rain sounds sent from? Let's look at world. This is the point where I wish it was easy to, like, there was single control points for whether or not it's raining and whatnot.
Help there says minecarts. Rain isn't really continuous like you'd want to. Rain sounds are from render global, I think.
Da, 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 da. Interesting. The Wither Spawn and the Ender Dragon sounds are built into Render Global. Uh-huh. Alright, well I'm going to check the folder real quick and find out what it's actually called. So, I can figure out where it is. There we go. Alright, so... I hate that these windows don't come up for you guys. But... okay. Entity renderer. That's where we... Held, why are you going minecarts? We looked at minecarts, and the sounds for, like, I'm looking for something about minecarts, or about the sounds, not the specific minecart sound name. So I'm not sure what you're referring to here. Alright, so...
Cheat gamer, DRN2K7 is me, by the way, and I can assure you, slow does after you speak. I have it. And it's not big. Jeez.
Alright, let's see here. This appears to only be played client-side, which I would hope so, because Entity Render is probably only client-side, yes. So, one option is in the update for the Meteors to play the sound effect client-side. Minecarts have code to allow continuous sounds.
Yeah, the sound of them barreling down the tracks, I presume. Sorry, XCOM.
It's fine. Let's see here. Alright, to find where sounds is handled from minecarts. Let's see, so I need to figure out where the sounds are from minecarts. Minecart! Okay. So, that's interesting. Minecart has its own sound environment. Instead of being an ambient, it's just minecart. So I'm going to search for minecart dot, not Minecraft, minecart. So we'll find this here. Nothing. Darn it. Hmm. Alright, so let's look at the sounds.meta in... Sorry, sounds.json in the assets folder here. So if we find minecart, yeah, it's referenced this way. There's nowhere else in there.
Are you gonna give the Meteors a special sound or just one from vanilla?
I may give it its own sound at some point. There we go. But at the moment, I just want to be able to give it sound.
Yeah.
Moving sound minecart. Okay. Extends moving sound. Okay, so this is interesting. Apparently you attach a moving sound thing to it. So where's... There's an update. Done playing is that. We determine what the volume is and whatnot. I wonder what this field is. Frequency modulation, perhaps? It's not volume, because that's labeled volume there. This is probably the frequency modulation. repeat delay. Okay.
Diamond Creeper says, "Hey Comp, I found a way around instability." I'm sure
Yeah,
that's what I
I'm
meant.
waiting for him to actually elaborate on it. If he just announces that to chat, it's not useful to me. Veo's already asked in chat, what is it?
It's like when people
Yeah,
say, "Hey,
if it's
can I
something that's intended to be there, then
Yeah. And
congrats. You know,
Uh,
if it's something that is some sort of exploit that needs to be patched, then thanks for the heads up.
yeah, basically.
We'll see when it's elaborated on.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
didn't know what it is before I can even bother with anything.
It's like when people say, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" You just
You just did. Hello, chat. So let's see here.
"Hey, Sticky."
So I'm going to have to make one of these. I can do that. What package is this in? Client audio. That's a good place for it.
Diamond Super says advanced genetics, which is a mod.
No. And what do you do with advanced genetics?
How does advanced genetics allow you to bypass instability?
Assume we don't know what the mod is,
Yes.
because it's a safe
Because you can
assumption.
assume I don't know anything about most mods. I know mine.
Don't have the time to keep up on other mods and keep developing a mod and keep doing all the other stuff.
Okay. Put this in my own code.
Advanced genetics is a mod created by which adds genetic science to Minecraft.
That made sense. Still doesn't tell us anything.
No.
Ah, okay. Speed gene and infinite milk. So infinite milk would help avoid any and all potion effect instabilities.
Uh-huh. The speed gene makes you fast. Okay. I would presume these things are probably expensive, so yeah. Okay. What is this? It's that thing that kept being set here. Is this ever used? This doesn't ever seem to be used. It's just modified.
I'm gonna make coffee. Anyone want some?
No thanks. Okay. Don't need that cast. Okay. So, if it's moving, I don't even need to care about that. If my meteor's not moving, it's not making sound. It's not there anymore.
Heh.
Here the volume is based on how fast it's moving. So I may actually want to keep around if it's moving, the calculation for it here. And apply that to frequency instead.
Ah.
equals true. What? Okay. What was this again? Some kind of get repeat delay, right. No repeat delay on this. And this is probably, yeah, pitch. That plus, why are we bothering with the 0, 0 plus? Alright. I now have a moving sound thingy. Cool.
Alright.
So this normally happens.
Did
It's
you
not
see
a big
chat?
deal. What?
What's the volume on your Meteor sound?
True!
True!
I don't know what I was thinking there. Anyway, looking at this moving sound minecart thingy, it's hard-coded into World Client for some reason. Completely inexplicably.
Oh, fun.
So, it's not a big deal because I can just, on first tick, play that sound. Client side. So, don't need that. And... oops. No, I didn't need that anyway. So, where's this? Here it is. If this dot world object is remote, then this dot world oops, world object, there isn't a play sound. Well, I can actually just do it the way it does it here, which is strange, but okay. Alright. We're client-side only. We can make this. This is fine. We get the sound handler and we play the sound directly. One thing to note. Is this going to be... yeah, this is client-side only. So I can't actually do this line here, because it'll crash on the server. Just because it references this class. So I need to move it out somehow. I can client-side the call somehow. The easiest way that strikes me is to have a sided-based function that plays sounds based on which side we're on. And would somehow know to map entity Meteor to this. It's a strange workaround, though. It'd be nice if I had a client-side only call on the entity. I don't think I do. But maybe. Brightness for render. Is eating. Client-sided. Can render on fire. Prepare player to spawn. Only used on players, though it's also on entity. Well, it's in entity, but it's only used on players. Set angles. Somebody comments, I'm checking is remote. I'm good. Not true, unfortunately. I'm checking this. It will only call this function here. But unfortunately, if we're remote. But unfortunately, it still references the class. And the class is client-side only. It doesn't exist on the server. So the server will crash here because it's referencing a class that doesn't exist. Even though we're not doing anything with it. Which is kind of an oops.
I'm back.
Welcome back. So... Actually, let's not delegate this here. Let's see if I can do a delegation from inside Meteor itself. So, can I have the same function twice on different sides? Okay.
Alright, welder and grinder are now available on both small and large ships in stations 2. A larger type of conveyor is now available for small ships that allows items to transfer all kinds of components.
For anybody
and
that's confused, he's talking about space engineers.
Yeah. So you got a large ship welder, small ship welder and grinder. New, conveyors. Large cargo container on small
There's
ship.
welders now.
Yeah.
Cool. So we can build
Interesting.
things with ships. That's nice.
Yeah. Large cargo container on small ship has now large doors instead of that little one.
So you can't use the small conveyors with it?
I don't think so. They said new larger conveyors for small ships, so I assume it'd be for them.
Alright, makes sense.
Yeah, connector and ejector won't throw items when the area in front of them is blocked by too many objects. Fix these performance issues but with many small objects on pile. New models for thrusters and wheels, connector inventory can now be accessed by door.
PG stream.
Oh, sorry.
And
Is
that's
that
last warning.
is that a bad word?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I didn't actually know that.
Anyway. So let's see here. I don't know if this will work. I really don't, because I'm calling a function that only exists client-side. I only call it client-side, but I don't know if it will complain about it existing. So, we're gonna try it.
Ooh, that's a nice one. Fixed multiplayer client dying when drilling.
First, we're gonna check and see if the sound works.
If you have a proxy, you could just
I could
give it
run it
to
through
the
the
proxy
proxy, but it's
instead.
weird to build the Meteors sound stuff through the proxy.
Or you could just have play sound.
Yeah, but I'd still have to construct... I'd either have to construct the object which is going to cause the problem, or construct the object inside of that function.
Ah, that makes sense.
So the actual problem is constructing the object.
Yeah, okay.
Cube blocks for you in a few minutes here, madam.
Alright, let's see what this sounds like. Be ready to rip out your headphones if you're wearing them.
What's that, Charlie?
Editing the cube blocks file to make things quicker.
Well, wasn't actually that loud. And it wasn't quite as high-pitched as I was expecting it to be.
Unmuting the stream.
Let's see here.
Interesting. Not a bad sound effect. A little higher pitch and it might be...
Yeah, if we get the pitch
just
higher,
right.
that'd be great. So let's check this, switch over to here. Check this get pitch thing. Normalizes the pitch from parameters and clamps to 0.5 to 2. That's kind of unfortunate because that means the most I can pitch it up is 2 from within Minecraft.
But does it take fractions?
What?
Does it take fractions? You're gonna have an increase to closer players to so up to 2.
Well, no, it caps the frequency. The frequency can only go up to 2.
Yeah, but if it takes fractional values of instead of whole numbers, I don't know if it's a float or not.
There's no calculations or comparisons to anything. It just uses the it just uses the pitch straight, I think. So let's go back to this. Get normalized pitch. Let's play sound here. Yeah, it just uses the pitch straight from there, and it's after it's been capped to 2. So it's clamped. Alright, let's try it again. I've, yeah, that's the highest pitch I can get, unfortunately.
Probably to avoid us blowing out the headphones and speakers around the place.
It's probably mostly volume, but... Well, they have sounds now. We just need to get an appropriate sound for them.
Based on your console, you're in game.
Well, we're just listening to them anyway.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that works really well, actually. That works quite nicely. We still need to check to make sure that we don't crash here on the server side. So I'm going to have to spawn a meteor on the server in a moment. First, I'd really like to get a decent sound effect for that motion.
Well, the lightning impact has a lot of boom in it.
I don't want a boom, I want kind of a wailing noise as it comes down from the sky.
Ah, true.
Because this is its in-motion sound. I could try using the thunder sound. Let's see what it does. I did notice the thunder sound isn't playing. I'm not sure why that is.
That's because it's copyrighted. You can't play bits from Thunderstruck. That's AC/DC's work. Chat says, I have an amusing mental image of meteors descending to the ground on vertical rail tracks.
Yes. It's about what that image, what that sound effect inspires. A whistle sound is suggested, and I could easily make a whistle sound, but I'm not going to do it while streaming because, well, I need my microphone to make the sound, and I don't know how pleasant it would be to listen to me try to make sound effects.
Also, whistling is evil.
Yeah, whistling into a microphone can be rather painful for the listeners. So.
I find whistling a microphone is amusing when somebody that can't do it's trying.
Console looks like you're starting up the game. There we go. Oh, you did switch over. Alright.
It sounds kind of funny. Sounds a bit like Thor's invading. Alright. That's a no. Is there a villager screaming sound? Chat has suggested a villager screaming. Is there a villager screaming sound?
Good question.
There should be a villager hurt sound. Might not be a scream, I don't know.
Yeah. They make that sound when they die, huh? Alright, well then that's probably villager sounds.
There isn't currently.
Mob. Villager. Oop. Is it killed? Death. Alright. Let's find out what that sounds like. At the same time, I'm going to test this on the server.
Alright. Prepare for crashes.
Mm-hmm. We'll see if this is sufficient.
Chat says that's an appropriate world to be destroying with meteors.
What's an appropriate world to be destroying with meteors?
I assume the netherrack terrain and
Yes. It really is. Just kind of the way it happened out, though. Lucky. Oh no, I'm showing the IP on stream.
you're showing 127.0.0.1?
Yes.
Oh
apparently it's not
no!
up yet.
People are gonna connect.
Oh no.
Chat's suggesting something I was somewhat considering as well. The Enderman death sound might work as well.
That's an option. We can try looking at that. Alright, we're now on the server. And it looks a little different from the one at home, but that's okay. And my fix works here too. Okay, and age. This is probably that age I made first. with the weird stuff that generated funny initially. I think I've since regenerated most of the surrounding chunks here. Yeah. So let's float over this way. See if I can drop a meteor on this zombie's head. Well, that was an amusing sound effect. This world does not like to render. There we go.
I'm noticing that. I don't think that's quite the sound you're looking for.
Just found a nice sound for impact. Would have to be changed into OGG though.
Oops. Let's go back. Let's change the sound effect here. Dubstep meteors. Alright, so what were we thinking? We were thinking of using Enderman.
Chat suggesting as well the Enderman anger sound.
Yeah, there's a lot of Enderman sounds, so...
If you want a high pitch sound, try when you kill a pig.
Obviously put that sound in wrong because I didn't make any. Yeah, I used
Also-
the scream. Whoa! Thank you! Someone just donated. That's where that sound effect came from. I was really confused for a moment. Thank you, Donabear. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you very much, Kiitos. Okay, so, oops. This world is weird. It lags, strangely. Okay. Yeah, I typed this in wrong. So, mob, Enderman, scream. Let's go back to trying that. Hello? Why you no make sound?
Should I make sound instead?
Probably not. I appreciate the offer, however. Just to show in game. We're just playing the sound effects, so we're not really concerned about what in game's doing. We didn't crash, though. That's good.
It is very good.
I know a way we could get an awesome sound. If we tie Vivos to a chair and put a whole bunch of scary movies in front of him and record his reactions.
I don't scare easily.
Aww.
Sorry. When I was growing up,
Techno meteors.
my favorite movie was Child's Play until I was about 6 or 7, and then I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, and then that was my favorite movie. So I kind of grew up with it.
Yeah.
Grew up
Techno
with horror.
meteors.
Techno Meteors. Yes.
To be honest,
I
a
don't think
meteor
so.
falling, the sound I would expect was not so much the wailing sound, but the sound of a large furnace burning, something very loud, deep rumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Or the...
And no, not so much the wailing.
Nah. Yeah, so I'm probably just gonna have to make a sound. Which is...
Well, the Mist Island furnace for the tree.
Oh yeah.
Those two effects would actually work, but they are copyrighted.
Yeah. That's why the sound in Mystcraft isn't the official linking sound. Though, honestly, I kind of like the one Mystcraft has. Samuel Wolf did a great job on those.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would probably be something like blowing into a microphone, then slowing it down.
And not something I think the stream would particularly enjoy hearing the creation of.
No.
Yeah, I expect we have to make this
Just kidding.
off camera at some point. We'll see what I can do. So, fix me.
Still, I think the sound that I linked would actually work very well for Impact.
All right. Well, I can look at it a
take a
little bit
look.
later.
freesfx.co.uk.
Indeed.
We're
I
happy with
can
that.
link it in channel.
Kill the server now. Okay.
That's a
so-
reasonable impact sound.
All right. So we have meteor sounds. That's cool. That's excellent.
Ah, right. Link deleted. Ah.
Vivos can post it because he's got.
Yeah.
Ah.
All right.
There you go.
That took a bit longer than I expected it to, but all right. Now we're getting to the promised symbols. This one's been requested for a while. In fact, it was requested earlier in the stream. Alright, so... let's see. 2 symbols are what I'm doing today. The first of which is WorldGen spikes. I'm going to add a symbol that generates spikes in the world.
Alright.
When adding symbols, there's a number of things I have to do, and it's in a couple different places. I should probably consolidate this somehow. Actually, let's put it here in my list. Symbols, spikes. Symbols. Finish. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of things I need to do for this. We're actually just going to look for here and copy lakes. Alright, gen spikes. Block category. Structure. I'm going to have to make the generator for WorldGen spikes here. And we're going to default to stone. If there isn't a descriptor provided. How do spikes differ from obelisks? There's actually a WorldGen spikes built into Minecraft. It's used in the end dimension. They're fairly jagged, so I'm going to try and look at them and see what they do. But I'm not exactly sure what those spikes mean in that context. Whoa! Thank you very much, Alien War Chief! Wow! Thank you! yeah, I kind of got speechless on that one. I do not know how to thank you enough. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So...
I'm still waiting for it to show up.
Yeah, video sync issues on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so back to what I'm doing here.
Wow! Sorry.
Yeah, that's what
It
I
just
did.
popped up.
Whoa! Okay. Alright. I don't really need to care about profiling at the moment. Okay, let's see here. That'll add that. That's got most of that. Now, let's look at all the other things for symbols. And this is one of the things I really need to go through and refactor this to make this easier. And I should probably do that... I don't know if I'll do that on stream, but I should probably do that very soon. Let's see, your symbol... Poem data. See, this is already one of those things that's kind of strange. The poems are built out here. I register them here. If I should actually put some kind of more consolidated method for this.
XComp, I sent you the change file for Space Engineers. You'll get it when you log in.
Alright, thanks.
No worries, man.
Okay, so let's see. Here's a good place to add this. Gin spikes. Now we need a poem for it. It is a populator, so it will still start with nature here. Where are lakes? Oh, there, yeah.
Probably nature and courage. What were the Narayan words available?
All of them?
Narayan words. Well, yeah, I know. I'm looking at.
You can't see that list. That's so weird. I've actually got a tooltip pop-up thing here that I'm going through all the list of Narayan words here, but you can't see that.
Huh.
There we go. I just changed over to displaying my monitor for the moment. Just so you can see this. We'll switch back in a moment.
What I'll do is I'll actually post a link in Twitch chat.
Okay, and they can see the Narayan words.
It's actually the one that I used to get the arrays in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So probably nature and courage. Force. No. Maybe momentum. No, because that would imply movement.
Spur.
Nature,
Spur's a good
spur.
one. Encourage spur structure.
Well, I feel like encourage and spur.
Yeah,
Fit
I'm
the same
thinking spur
category.
as in like point.
Yeah. Fair enough. There's almost certainly nature encourage growth structure. Yes, crystals.
Yeah, crystals.
Nature stimulate form structure.
We could also use entropy.
Yeah.
Entropy structure sounds good. So let's go with that for the moment, at the very least. Okay, and back. So... Alright, so that's the poem. What else was there? Rarity data and rules. See, these are the 4 things that I need to set per thing. So it's a little strange.
Seeing you do this reminds me that I really need to finish my JSON-enabled AOM build, but I've just been so damn swamped.
Hey, PG
I
stream.
feel really bad about it, though. Eh? Ah, sorry. Did not pay attention to my wording.
Alright, that's that. And now rules. What's being imported that isn't necessary? Mystcraft itself, apparently. Alright, so... Let's see if I can find the lakes here, or the crystals. That's them there. I'm gonna grab this again. Block structure. So that's everything now. For adding a symbol, that's all the stuff. But I have to still do the logic of the symbol. The lakes used a world gin thing in order to produce lakes. This is going to use a world gin thing to make spikes. First, let's open up the one from Minecraft. I'll just copy that. Figure out what it's... Actually, I don't care what it's in. I care where my lake stuff is. So... Crystal formation... Little gin mist crystals... It's in gin feature. Okay, so it's the same place, actually. So, create class in world gin feature. Finish. Oops. Alrighty. Don't need that. Reformat everything, and good. So, let's see if we can understand what this does. It's a single function, that's pretty convenient. World object. Random. X, Y, and Z. Is error block. That's good. Don't need to set that. And the block below is hum. Wow, okay, this already takes a block. That's amazing. Most of the vanilla generators didn't. Right, so you can see here, this is the only usage of this. It generates spikes in the end world. I don't know what they look like. We're going to find out.
I'm gonna go play some Xbox. It's nice talking to XCOM.
Good.
Okay, see you.
See ya.
I actually don't care about if it's placed on its own thing here. Oh, this is for generating the obsidian pillars, but it's... The block it takes is what it builds on. That's weird.
Oh. I haven't been to the end for a while, so I assume they just added something since the last time I went.
World Gen... I want World Gen Caves. Crystal Formation will work fine. So this is the main thing I want, these constructors. Setting those variables. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this creates the ender crystals, which we don't need.
Why is that shape? Oh, I'm messing around in Blender because I really should end up learning it. And they use Z up. It's already caught me up. It's already tripped me up.
I don't know what this is used for. Might be height. Let's guess and find out. This might be width. And then these are used inside the for loops, so we're gonna name them there. Okay, I'm gonna rename these to base X, base Y, and base Z, just so I have Z, or X, Y, and Z available. This is delta X. It's delta Z. Okay. All this does is check to see if it should place here. I don't need that check. Okay, int X. Oh, that's Y. Oops. That's X. And that's Z. Added into the name of that. Delta X and delta Z. I don't need that whole check. So let's see what this does. And was that a typo? Okay. We all set here now? Alright, so now we're going to try building an age with this symbol spikes symbol. I've not created a localization for it yet, now that I think about it, so it's just going to show up as symbol.gets gin spikes or something like that, but oops, I didn't want a server. I wanted a client.
You wanted a server.
No, I didn't.
You just didn't know it.
Alright. Loading, 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 loading. Loading, loading. Okay. So let's see here. Drop in here. Back to the overworld. Okay, and then clear out my inventory a bit here. A bunch of things I don't need. Alright. Now I'm just going to need a link panel and that page. First, link panel, and then what do we call it? Actually, I'm probably wind up down here or something. Missed symbol, Gin Spike's name. Alright, well it takes a block modifier, so perhaps we should give it one. Let's give it obsidian. Let's not, actually, because that's what the code originally had, so let's give it glowstone. This will actually cause the age to be slightly unstable, but
Oh, nice little library.
thank you. Alright. Glowstone, symbol gem spikes. And away we go! When it says spikes, it means really tall towers. In the air. Well, that's not quite right. Glowstone's dark. No, it's not. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, they do look like candles.
I was about to read that one out.
It's mostly because they have that
Are
one
you in the
little
Great
block on
Hall?
top. They are, in fact, identical to the obsidian pillars in the end. That's what they're based on here. Not really what I was expecting. Alright, so let's make them a little rare. Second, I should get the, I'm looking for the function to get the height. Yeah. Okay. Don't really need the +8. Don't really think that's a good idea. Alright. I've just made changes. Debugging World Gen's kind of an interesting thing, because, you make changes to how it works, and then you're stuck with what you had, which is why I wrote this command. It's still stuck up in the air. That's weird. Why are you way up in the air?
My gut instinct is that the code checked for endstone, and you replace that check with nothing, or a check for any block.
Yeah. Well, let's go back and look at that real quick then. Let's see here. Roll gen spikes. Alright, let's see if I can try and get the things to level out on the ground here. First, let's see. Don't need that. Where are Y's ending up? So. Oh, I'm probably not in debug mode, am I? Because I ran it that way. Right. So I've added a breakpoint to here. And now we're going to run it. Keybounce is asking, when regenning chunks, how do you deal with the non-deterministic random nature of modern world gen? Do you know when it switched from deterministic repeatable to the current random? I actually force most of my world gen to be repeatable, as is evidenced here.
Everything becomes much easier that way.
Yep, my world gen is primarily, almost entirely deterministic. There's some things I can't control, like other mods generation, but okay, breakpoint. Right over here. So what's our Y value? 88. Okay. It's also 89, 63, 88, 88. A lot of these chunks are getting them. And that's why it wasn't going down, by the way, because I wasn't in debug mode. So now they're at least grounded. All right. Yump. And the other check was actually when it was checking for endstone. Oh, you couldn't see what I was doing. Alright, I'll go back and demonstrate real quick. Gotta remind me. Alright, there we go. So we've dropped it down, it's on the ground again. But we'll note that it's not always touching the ground in all places. Particularly right here. It placed at a particular point back there, and that was above the ground over here. So the check that I removed from here, we're going to put it back, but we're not going to check for endstone. We are going to check for any block. So Origin spikes. Okay, and now object get
Alright, I need to head out for now. Try to wrap my head around dynamic mesh deformation.
Okay. Good luck.
Pretty much. Adios.
Adios.
See ya.
Alright. So what this is going to do is it's going to check to see if the ground below is flat. So there is enough ground below us for it to have the full thing. So if we go back over to here. And wait for the game to load up some. Now this one should vanish. Oops. There it goes. Alright, now I come over to this one. It will probably do the same thing, actually. And this one drop down here. Okay, so it only goes to places where there's enough space and it's flat. Come over here and see what you'll do. You might move a little bit because I changed the frequency. Just vanish entirely. Huh. There we go. Alright, so these are fun. They're quite tall. Pillars of things. They're not exactly what I was going for, though. And then I was kind of hoping for jagged spikes. So, what we're going to do is we're going to make them a bit more jagged. And to do that, we're going to make it a bit more random over here. Now, the height here is going to be the max height for the whole thing. Yeah, I'm going to make the spikes show up much, much, much less often here very shortly. I'm going to increase this number a lot. It'll make them show up much less frequently. Basically, it's currently 1 per 8 chunks. I'm also going to have to profile them to find out exactly how much instability or how many blocks they add, so I can do an appropriate get instability function here. Alright, so I can actually do this the other way around. Max height, which I'm going to declare as a thing right here, equals this. So I've just moved that now. And then I'm going to make it rand dot get next int, sorry, just next int height, which is at least 6, so I don't have to check it for anything, plus the base y. And I'm going to run that twice, which is kind of strange. I'm going to make this one a +1, just to guarantee it. So now we'll have some definite variation in the height of these things. Let's go back. Where am I? Right, so I want to go back over here and play with this one, I think. Right, actually, before I do that, I'm still in the code, I realize. I'm going to remove this block. Because it's just a cap block, and we don't need it. Because we're going to have spiky things. So, let's look at the world. Go away. Mist. Region, chunk, region, local chunks. Spikes! Ta-da! And there we go. Those actually look pretty nice. I like them. There's actually some points where you didn't get any, which is pretty cool. You just happen to generate 0. These look like spikes. Chad is right. These look much more like spikes. Alright, so these make me happier. Let's see what I do over here.
Now for the fun one. Headings, was it stalagmites or stalactites upside down?
Actually wouldn't
wells.
be so difficult. As long as I can find terrain that is not upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. These look fun. I like these. So let's do it over and change that one. See what it does. Because it was really tall before, and now it should be shorter. Yep. And spiky. Okay. Goodness. Spiky goodness. They probably don't exist anymore. Go away. Alright. Spikes. I have spikes. Generated funny. There we go. It was just rendered funny. Okay! That's a symbol down. Alright, so I'm going to add, I'm going to do my commit real quick. Pardon. So you can see that. Alright, so add spikes symbol. And that's all that goes in for the commit message, despite the work that was involved behind it. Okay, this next one I'm a little afraid of now. Amplified terrain page. Let's see if I can do that simply. Let's put that away. And we'll get over here to no, it's chunk provider mist. There we go. Uh, okay, so this is biome decoration. I don't care about that. Or not biome decoration, replacement. Okay. And then provide chunk. So here's the main thing. Probably going to have to change how this works a little bit. Because currently the block array goes up to 256 height. That's actually fine, isn't it? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Alright, so chunk provider generate. I need to do that through type. Alright, so the amplified is based off the world type here. So if it's amplified, we amplify, I think, our noise. Yes. Check anything else. No, nothing else. Okay, this is trivial, actually. So let's find the symbol terrain gen basic. This symbol. It generates noise. We can find the right spot. We can just throw these lines in. Now the thing is, my noise generation is renamed and reformatted and structured and whatnot. There's not. It's not fully renamed, apparently. But some things I didn't bother to change or fix. Not sure why those are different now, actually. Apparently my generation might be a little outdated. That's interesting. I didn't realize that generation changed. Like standard generation changed. Okay. Well, it's these two lines during the biome gen base, root height, and height variation. Which I'm not seeing in here. Which is this? Oh, this is... Never mind. This is the wrong symbol. That's why that looks wrong. That explains so much. Okay. Symbol terrain gen normal. That's what I wanted. So, yeah, this looks better. Much better. Okay. Here's this. And they do it before they reference the parabolic field. Now I just need to figure out what's what. So F3 is the root height of the secondary biome. I actually don't want to modify this one. I want to copy it, duplicate it, and then produce a slight change to the symbol. Amplified. Amplified. Okay. Go. And now I've got a lot of code duplication across these two things, so I'm probably going to want to fix that. So I'll make a note here of code duplication with symbol, terrain, gin, normal. And while I'm looking at this, I realized I somehow managed to typo in here. So there's no symbol. There we go. Okay, so... all right. And then basically everywhere that I reference the secondary biome, I replace these things. And that's all there is to that, apparently. Oh, I actually already had the code here. I do need to make one check. If... yeah. Height is greater than 0.0 f. Then we do these things. Okay. So, now we need to do the whole shebang for adding a symbol. And that's all these. So first, symbol data. What's included here that's... okay, whatever. Hide. Terrain gen. Amplified. Okay, now for the poem data. I didn't rename it. Terrain form. Tradition. There should be some kind of excite or... entropy might be good. It's not really the case. Spur might be more appropriate. Let's go with spur. Okay. That's my poem. And now rarity data. Where's the terrains? There they are. Okay. Amplified, and we'll make it about the same as Cave World here. And rules. So the last one is basically just the same thing as native, or natural, normal, whatever I called it.